prior knowledge is really good to have. So on this vehicle, I'm over on that side. This side's been pulled, so I can see here's a clip here that needs to be breached for this start. Clip on top, no clip in the rear. So also in review, you can check the hardness of the urethane, and this stuff's pretty hard with a big round corner. So on this cut, that string's back here trying to cut that whole corner at one time and give yourself a great big benefit. I use these tools. It's called a Japanese chisel. Really nice blade right here. And I come in from up on top and breached that corner. And I also came in and breached both those pins there. So now I've eased myself into the start over here, and should allow me to come up in here and just work with the urethane and not be too concerned about having to bust the clips as well. So here we are today on an 09 Murano, doing a quarter glass, using the tuck strips here. And basically once you've done that, you don't really need to push it in. You just give it a tug like that, and that sucks it down underneath there, and you're all done. Real fast, real easy. Now, like any tool, you can damage a glass part using a tool, using it wrong or not paying attention to what's going on. So the QuarterMaster anchors itself with a cup to the glass, but all the working force is along its fence line. This fence that pushes against the leading edge of the part that you're moving. Now, on these parts, this corner is going to want to cut real easy, which will chase this string down and push the tool into the corner this way. So it's better to cut along this one and cut from the back forward, and then that way that gives you room on the face out here to move the tool. Okay, so I've attached the string to the shaft here, and you want to always wind to the outside of the shaft. You don't want to wind it to the inside. It's being the inside that way. You don't want to do that. You always should go to the outside. So it's pulling from the furthest point away from the part down here. Again, all the force we want to use is along the bottom edge of this part, so it cuts from the back forward instead of from this top down. Okay, so I've pulled the excess out from the bottom here, got a couple of winds on the spool, and now I've trimmed the line, and I'm going to anchor it here to one of the anchor points, and then we can begin. You want to keep your string when you go to different parts, because you may have a string already cut the length that you can grab and use for smaller parts, bigger parts. So keep your string if you have to change it out for any other parts. Okay, the anchor knot I use is just like a fishing knot. You take a bunch of different winds, or multiple winds, and then you stick the line back down through that hole, and then cinch that down. Okay, now we're back to protection. So as you can see, as the string exits the part, that string wants to ride against this fascia here. So you want to protect that. And you want to protect that by sliding a tuck sheet there. So as a string pulls up, it pulls against that tuck sheet. And you want to do that all the way across, because that string is going to progress down the face of this, and we want to protect it. I'll also mention while you're putting these in, the edge of these sheets are sharp enough to cut the encapsulation, so care should be taken when you're doing that. I've got to own up to this. I got ready to go this morning. Yesterday I had a big day where I had to ship out a lot of product, and I shipped out my last torque wrench. So I'm cutting out this Murano with this little guy. And you can see the string coming through right there. Right there, with a clip on it. Anyway, we'll progress through and see how it comes out. How's that? Okay, so I've cut down to the strings right there, and right there. Now sometimes in this situation when you're trying to finish it, most pressure is going to be applied on this flange, so we're going to try something different today and see if it works. Hang on one second. Okay, so here's the concept. I run the string pulled the tool out, ran the string around. I got it looped in here. It's going to come in using this ring like a pulley, and then it's going to go up to a T-handle. Now what I'm going to attempt to do is pull this straight up, which should tension the string and cut through that last bit without damage to that leading edge. Okay, let's give this new concept a try. Well, that works, but it ain't for somebody without some muscle. It would have been better to cut that big old fat thing with some mechanical help. But anyway, I think that's going to be a good alternate method to cut down that fascia.